Hello guys and girls, welcome back to the Moebius Chronicles. I was looking back at all the videos made for this channel and I realized that so far I have not done a single one dedicated to Blueberry. So I decided that today we're going to fix that. For this video we have a magnificent book published by Stardom in 1997. It is a collection of beautiful illustrations with no text at all, apart from a short preface by Mitchell. And so since I don't have much to say about the book itself, beyond the fact that it is amazing, I mean it looks great of course, what else would you expect? I thought it would make for a great background to shuffle through while we talk instead about the birth of the Blueberry character, Moebius' relationship with him, and how he managed to keep this dual approach to his work throughout his career, with Blueberry on one side and with the more experimental material on the other. And before we dive in, a note for the viewers here. I know I might be stating the obvious for some of you, but some others might not know that Moebius did not use the Moebius name when signing his Blueberry work, but instead his actual name, Jean Giraud, or just Gir. But for simplicity's sake, I will refer to him as Moebius throughout this video. The creation of the iconic character of Blueberry was born out of a desire to transition from the mundane illustration work that he was doing at the publisher Hachette, where he was producing illustration for the multi-volume The History of Civilization. And at the time he was only in his early 20s, but his desire to make comics was already huge, and his will to spread his artistic wings soon pushed him into new directions. He found this opportunity with Pilote magazine, which at the time was led by Charlier and Goscinny. Pilote was the perfect platform for Moebius to explore his passion for storytelling through comics, and coincidentally, this was also the time where Goscinny wanted to do a Western. The genesis of Blueberry began with a simple yet significant task, naming the hero. Moebius sought a name that was both unique and fitting for a wild and somewhat disgraceful character. The name Blueberry was discovered by accident in a geographic magazine which was lying on his desk, and it resonated perfectly with the vision he had for the character. The visual inspiration for Blueberry came from Jean-Paul Belmondo, a cultural icon of the time, although Moebius eventually moved away from this resemblance due to the limitations of the source material, as he had to work mostly off of old photographs. Moebius' approach to creating Blueberry was deeply rooted in extensive research. He had already dipped his toes in the Mexican desert while visiting his mother a few years earlier, who had moved there with her boyfriend. But now, because of this project, he delved even further into the world of Westerns, the history of the United States, and the culture of Native Americans. However, his research was not about copying source material and its meticulous replication, but rather about absorbing influences and allowing his imagination to carry him to the finish line. This balance between research and creative freedom became a key characteristic of his work on Blueberry. And as he once said, "I rarely draw with something right in front of me. My research consists instead of reading, watching, and studying my collections frequently. But I'm not maniacal about recreating detail either. I don't do pure westerns. I make up a lot. And the longevity of Blueberry, on which Moebius kept working for almost 50 years until his death in 2012, can be attributed to both financial and artistic motivation. And by that I mean that initially the financial rewards were a significant factor, of course, but over time the joy of creating a popular comic in a style that he loved kept him engaged. And despite the constraints, the process of bringing the story to life was immensely satisfying for him. Something that must be noted and stressed, especially for those of you who do not know Moebius well, is that one of his distinctive features is the duality of his artistic styles, something I briefly mentioned earlier, if you remember, and represented by his pseudonyms Gir and Moebius. Gir's style, the one used in Blueberry, is characterized by meticulous brushwork, influenced by his master and mentor, the Belgian comic artist Hachette, with added pen touches for shading and volume. In contrast, Moebius' style is more spontaneous, but also determined, thought through from start to finish. And I personally always found that Moebius' lines have such a clarity of intention which very few other artists have. And once again, quoting Moebius, the difference between Moebius and Gir is the difference between Hergé and André Franquin. Hergé, the creator of Tintin, steers his line, while Franquin dashes it off. In Hergé, you can feel his will, his determination. In Franquin, you can feel his wrist, his instinct. Of course, this is a simplistic way of summarizing the two styles, but I do not want to spend too much time on it in this specific video. Still, I think it is important to point out for those of you who are not completely familiar with this aspect of his. Throughout his career, Moebius experimented with various techniques, blending hatching and pointillism to enhance the visual impact of his work, and also using his abilities to switch between the brush and the pen, which allowed him to add depth and emphasis, particularly evident in works like The Ghost Tribe. This constant evolution of technique ensured that his art remained fresh and dynamic. In conclusion, the story of Blueberry is not just about the creation of a comic book character, but also about the artistic journey of Moebius. His ability to balance research with creativity, financial motivations with artistic satisfaction, and meticulous brushwork with spontaneous pen strokes. As we follow Blueberry age over the course of his adventures, his physique transforming, his cheeks deepening, his hair going silver, we appreciate even more Moebius' 50 years long contribution to this character and how it has left an indelible mark on the world of comics. Blueberry really stands as a testament to Moebius' enduring legacy and his contribution to the art of storytelling. So that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed this short video and especially the gorgeous illustrations of this book. And if you did, please hit the like button, and if you want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel so that you won't miss when new content comes out. Until then, have a great day and see you next time. Bye.